Myself. So my name is Harry Baker. Harry Baker is my name. If your name was Harry Baker, then our names would be the same. But yeah, I'm going to do a couple of poems now, and then we're going to get someone on, and then I'll do some more, and then we'll get someone else on, and then we'll all go home with smiles on our faces. But yeah, I don't know, I'll start with a poem, because then I'll feel more confident. Because it's the takeover, just in time to give your mind a makeover. Break open a bottle of champagne dreams, it seems we're celebrating the death of the ordinary, birth of the amazing, open fire blazing. When out from the ashes comes the phoenix, the remix. I don't know what it is, but it fits and it's sick. I'll follow in the footsteps of heroes like misfits, but my superpower is the power to empower and encourage to flourish and nourish you with soul food. Inspire to respire, turn that food into energy. You enter the cafe after work. Tie loosened untouched shirt and you take a seat. Removing the burger from the bag you place by your feet, I can feel the grease squeak against your teeth as you eat. I sit in the corner, trying to explore potential audience before my performance, and as I step onto the stage, our eyes connect. Your mouth closes and your ears open, ready to be fed with my words. Because the scientist said the bumblebee couldn't fly, she lacked the wing beats per minute or the necessary size, but the bumblebee, in her ignorance, proved him wrong. She knew that she could fly because she'd flown all along, and now imagine if she'd listened to the man, she might have stopped, given up on the spot, tucked her wings in a drop. So don't ever let someone tell you what you can't do, because just because it's proven doesn't mean it's true. The bumblebee bumbles. Loving her life, she hums as she flies. The bumblebee fumbled, clumsily stumbled from flower to flower. The bumblebee tumbled, tore through the sky, pulling corkscrews and dives, and then the bumblebee mumbled, crumbled in front of the queen and her power. The bumblebee grumbled something explicit, discovered she'd been labelled a gimmick, and then the bumblebee rumbled, desperate to eat that nectar so sweet. The bumblebee humbled her critics, silenced all things scientific. Then the bumblebee jumbled her speech. She didn't care because in the air she was free. Because she was a busy bee. Loved to fly to flowers and visit trees, deliver seeds efficiently, more so than in a breeze, intricate and intimate, meticulous, auxiliary, and gather more honey than any sick MCs. You see, ever since she learned to fly, she earned her stripes. Despite the words of hype from learned types, suppressed the urge to fight or turn and hide. Instead, she yearned for sky and birds up high. Her confidence was soaring. She saw scientists as boring, the sort of people she should be ignoring because they made no sense. At least no scent as sweet as pollen. Even centimeters from her, they depended on their drawings, and they'd rather follow their charts than follow their hearts. And if they saw a bee leave, they still believe a graph. They preferred facts and figures to beeswax and vigor, but she begged to differ as she flew past and laughed. Now meet the scientist. His aim in life was to try and dismiss any hypothesis even preposterous. When asked why he never swallowed his pride, he replied, "That's obvious. It wouldn't fit down my esophagus." Now, not quite the optimist, more like the opposite. Decided to be living in a bubble, then popping it. He had, "Hey, believe everything I say," fever, pollinosis when close to the anomalous, taking measurements, making experiments, accumulating evidence. His brain contained considerable cleverness compared to his intelligence. So busy with bees in the room, he forgot the elephant. And his foolproof was foolproof, except for the truth. And if the bumblebee had read his report, she'd have agreed she was too heavy, therefore would never be airborne. But ignorance is bliss, and that begins with a bee. So this one is for the bees in the hives living lives of aviation. The ones who survive and help survive through pollination, the ones that thrive in the sticky situations with the flocky, knocky knee, hilly-pilly vacation. They are doing what they're doing for the buzz, not for love or money, moving and manoeuvring above. If the weather's sunny, proving to the humans their conclusions are confusing and unusually refusing to budge. This is for those who are being themselves and who believe in themselves, who see the bee in themselves and set it free in themselves, who know that even though it's difficult, life is full of miracles and true happiness never came from being cynical. The bumblebee, forever looking for something sweet, overcoming tumbleweed by holding on to some belief. In summary, this is for those that stay summary, because there will be bees to come, whatever comes to be. I wrote for my friend's funeral. She's not dead, but she asked me to. And yeah, it's called Eve. So can we have a funeral-like vibe in the room? Yeah, thanks. It's called Eve. That's her name. Eve, why did you have to leave? Why couldn't it be Steve? Sorry, Steve. That's that one. Yeah, I'll do one more, then I'll come back later with some better ones. Yeah, this one, I didn't think I'd finish, but I might just leave it hanging, like with the Eve one, because that worked out well. But this is about, because basically this year I've been on a gap year, so just living at home and not paying any rent, so I've been able to go out and do poetry for fun. And part of that, I got a job and I cycled to my job and it was all good, but I kept getting bike punctures in the same week. So I started writing about that, and then, whilst it doesn't sound interesting, my bike then got stolen, so then the poem became crazy, but I didn't get time to write the crazy bit, so this is about getting bike punctures. I'm glad I'm not miserable. If I was miserable, then I would not be glad, and that would make me sad. Trapped in a self-indulgent cycle of depression, are those who frown so much, it's their natural expression to whom perhaps one may make a suggestion. Run a tactical session, give us some practical lessons on how to cheer up a bit. Soften that stiff upper lip and smile. Sunday 9:35, a puncture discovered. And Sunday 9:36, a phone call to mother. Lesson 1. Have someone on which you can depend, be it family or friend, preferably one that knows how to drive. Lesson 2, watch Desperate Housewives. You see, a lot can be gained from Wisteria Lane, which helps us to feel better about our lives. For one, a bike puncture wouldn't seem that bad if my best friend's son had run over my wife's dad, but more so, I'm glad my life's not like that. Creating drama to occupy the mindless chat now. Sunday 9:53, we return and turn on channel 4. The bike gets ignored, it's an hour before it's descended. To cut a longer story slightly shorter, by Monday morning, it's been mended. Lesson 3, mums are amazing. Now Monday 8:31, and it's the same thing. Now that sucks, but bad luck is part of what the day brings. And if you cannot change things, what's the use complaining? I send a quick text to my boss to explain things. Hi Mark, I got a bike puncture cycling to work, so I'm going to be late. Sorry. Lesson 4 is there's less than 4 lessons to be learned today. So textbooks away, let's communicate as equals. You see, life is a series of unwritten sequels, and life lessons should be taught by life and not people. Monday 8:44, I'm forced to walk along the pavement. I can't help but ask myself where the smiling faces and the joy to face the day went, because all I see is hatred. Consuming faces screwed up like used papers, and the newspapers talk about the rude boys and rude girls, but the rudest boys and girls are the businessmen and women. They spent too long in the system, drenched in cynicism, and their teeth remain hidden in their tight-lit prisons. Their smiles have gone missing, and there's no reward posters. So those are the ones that I would give the as both. And I am sitting on a bench in Hyde Park, and time's passed. It's somewhere in between 9 o'clock and 5:30, you see. Everything's gone vague. It's all a bit blurry. I know I'm running late, but it still feels pretty early, so I'm sitting, watching the world go by. I see a bald man with a headband, and I wonder why, because it clearly isn't to keep the hair out of his eyes. I am sitting, bike by my side with a flat tire. But I am not deflated nor defeated, no, instead I am inspired, because for the 49 suits who scoured in the street as we bumped, there is the one man who offered me his bicycle pump, and there is something distinctly right about that kindness. So I wanted to take the time to write about that kindness, as when we're bruised, we appreciate the gentle touch. I told my boss we would be late, I didn't tell him by how much, so I am sitting on a bench in Hyde Park writing poetry. For the good Samaritan who brightened my day, unknowingly and naturally I said no. I mean, my back was gone beyond repair, a bike pump would have been useless, but that's neither here nor there. And I'm a quarter through potentially a really good poem, but it's 9:45 and I really should be going, so I pause. And fast forward to stepping in the office as my boss appears, and I'm convincing I've been here for 20 minutes. Fast forward. And now everybody's in a mood, because I'm standing in the tube with a new inner tube in one hand, bike wheel in the other, and all I really want to do is take it home to mother, but I'm taking up a lot of space, and I can feel a lot of hate conveyed on everybody's face, portrayed in such a concrete way, it's awkward. Fast forward, Wednesday, and everything's been fixed. To celebrate, I pedalled all the way to Rich Mix, but then my bike got nicked. No hope, but I'm a mathematician. What type of facts are those? If you grew up with sums since you were 3 and a third and could be talented with numbers without being a nerd, cause to me that don't seem irrational like surds. And if you don't like my logic, then just listen to my words. And I may not be normal like a distribution curve, but if I don't fit in, well, I don't give a standard deviation. They call me the denominator because I divide crowds like hyperbolic equations. And I don't know what you take me as or understand the intelligence that I might have, but from fractions to decimals, I ain't dumb. I got 99 problems, but maths ain't one. Hit me. 99 problems, but maths ain't one. And if you're having number problems, I feel bad for you, son. I got 99 problems, but maths ain't one. 99 problems, but maths ain't one. And now I can't recite pilot, Mr. Powerfreeman, my maths teacher. I've got 99 problems, but maths ain't one. And break it down for the pi solo. 3.14159 2653589 79323 84626 433832795 2884197 1693999 375 105. That's 51 decimal places, and I got a few more. Hit them with the 82097494459230781. I got 99 problems, but maths ain't one. Hit me.